truth to power. So I just felt like doing telling this story again and talking about the story again. Grant and I watched the movie.
In a scandal that's rocking Tinseltown and beyond, George Clooney, the silver-haired charmer who's stolen hearts from Ocean's 11 to ER, has thrown a Molotov cocktail into the Democratic Party's unity with a jaw-dropping betrayal of President Joe Biden. The 63-year-old Oscar winner sat down with CNN's Jake Tapper in a tell-all interview that's got tongues wagging, pulses racing, and loyal Dems clutching their pearls. Clooney, once a darling of the liberal elite, declared that going against Biden in the 2024 presidential election was his civic duty, and he's not backing down, even as furious fans and party insiders brand him a traitor, a Hollywood hero, or a political pariah. Picture this: George Clooney, sipping espresso in a tailored suit, his trademark smirk barely concealing the fire in his eyes, as he drops the bombshell that's left Biden's camp reeling. "I don't know if it was brave," Clooney mused to Tapper, brushing off praise from his defenders who called his anti-Biden stance courageous. Instead, he doubled down, insisting it was his moral obligation to call out what he saw as dishonesty from his own side. "I'm a Democrat in Kentucky, so I get it," he quipped, referencing his roots in the bluegrass state, where Dems are as rare as a unicorn sighting. But what exactly drove Clooney to turn his back on Biden, the man who's been steering the nation through turbulent times? Sources close to the star whisper that Clooney's frustration had been simmering for months, fueled by what he perceived as the administration's missteps and a lack of transparency. George has always been a straight shooter, dishes an insider. He felt the Democrats were sugarcoating the truth, and he couldn't stay silent. The backlash. Fans and foes unite in outrage. The fallout from Clooney's bombshell has been nothing short of explosive. Social media platforms like X are ablaze with reactions, from diehard fans who feel betrayed to Biden loyalists, who've branded him a Hollywood has been desperate for relevance. George Clooney turning on Biden? What's next? Brad Pitt endorsing a Martian candidate? Snarked one X user. Another fumed, "He's just a pretty face with too much ego. Stick to movies, George." Even in Hollywood, where Clooney's charm has long opened doors, the mood is frosty. "Some people are mad, sure," Clooney admitted to Tapper, shrugging off the haters with a nonchalance that's only fanning the flames. At a recent A-list gala, whispers swirled that several high-profile Dem donors gave Clooney the cold shoulder. "He's burned bridges," a source spills. People who bankrolled Biden's campaign feel like George stabbed them in the back. But Clooney, ever the cool customer, isn't sweating the criticism. "That's the deal," he told Tapper, leaning into his free speech mantra. "You can't demand freedom of speech and then say, 'But don't say bad things about me.'" It's a stance that's as bold as it is divisive, with Clooney positioning himself as a lone wolf standing up for truth no matter the cost. A history of controversy, Clooney's rebel heart. This isn't the first time Clooney stirred the pot. The Gravity star has a storied history of taking controversial stands, and he's no stranger to the backlash that follows. "They criticized me for my stance against the war 20 years ago," he reminded Tapper, referencing his vocal opposition to the Iraq War in the early 2000s. Back then, Clooney faced picket lines at his movie premieres, and even landed on a notorious deck of cards targeting anti-war celebs. "I have to take that, that's fair," he said, his voice steady but defiant. "I'm okay with criticism for where I stand." That defiance is pure Clooney, a man who's never shied away from speaking his mind, whether it's calling out injustice or, in this case, his own party's leadership. "I defend their right to criticize me as much as I defend my right to criticize them," he declared, a line that's already being memed across X as both a battle cry and a lightning rod. The political fallout. A party divided. Clooney's bombshell couldn't have come at a worse time for the Democrats, who are already grappling with internal rifts and a bruising 2024 election cycle. Political analysts are sounding the alarm, warning that Clooney's high-profile defection could embolden other liberal luminaries to break ranks. "George is a trendsetter," says DC insider Mara Jenkins. "If he's openly criticizing Biden, it gives others permission to do the same. This could snowball." On X, posts are flying fast and furious, with hashtags like #Clooney vs Biden and #Dem drama trending. One user speculated, is Clooney planning a run himself? This feels like a power move. While there's no evidence the Monuments Men star has political ambitions, his influence is undeniable. After all, this is the man who once convinced the UN to take action on Darfur. When Clooney talks, people listen. The fan frenzy, from adoration to anger. For Clooney's legion of fans, the news is a gut punch. I've loved George since Batman and Robini's. Even that one, confesses Sarah, a 40-something fan from Chicago. But this, it's like finding out your dad's been lying to you. I'm so disappointed. Others are more forgiving, with some ex-users rallying behind Clooney's civic duty defense. He's not a sheep, posted one supporter. George is calling it like he sees it. Respect. The divide is stark, and it's tearing through Clooney's fan base like a tabloid expose. At a recent screening of The Tinder Bar, Clooney's 2021 directorial effort, attendees were overheard debating his motives. Is he a hero or just chasing clout? Wondered one moviegoer. The question lingers, and Clooney's refusal to apologize isn't helping. What's next for the rebel star? So, where does George Clooney go from here? Will he double down on his anti-Biden crusade? Or will he retreat to his Lake Como villa to weather the storm? Insiders say Clooney's already planning his next move, with whispers of a documentary project that could tackle political transparency. George wants to keep the conversation going, a source reveals. He's not done shaking things up. For now, Clooney seems unfazed, leaning into his role as Hollywood's resident provocateur. Take a stand for it, and then deal with the consequences, he told Tapper, a mantra that's become his North Star. Whether you see him as a principled patriot or a fame-hungry turncoat, one thing's clear. George Clooney's not going anywhere quietly. As the dust settles, the question remains. Has Clooney's betrayal of Biden fractured the Democratic Party for good? Or is this just another chapter in his storied career as a rebel with a cause? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this Hollywood heartthrob has set the political world ablaze, and the flames are far from dying out. Clooney's last stand, a Hollywood legend's defiant legacy. As the firestorm over George Clooney's Biden bombshell rages on, the Hollywood icon stands unbowed, his steely resolve cementing his status as Tinseltown's ultimate rebel. By calling out his own party's shortcomings, Clooney has ignited a fierce debate that's fractured fans, rattled Democrats, and set X ablaze with speculation. Is he a courageous truth teller or a fame-chasing opportunist? The jury's out, but one thing's undeniable. Clooney's civic duty declaration has reshaped the political landscape, leaving a party divided and a fan base torn. With whispers of future projects that could further rock the establishment, the Ocean's 11 star shows no signs of fading into the sunset. As he navigates the fallout with his signature charm and defiance, Clooney's legacy as a provocateur is secure love him or loathe him. He's proven once again that when he takes a stand, the world listens. Hey, if you love this juicy scoop, smash that like button and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss the latest Hollywood drama.